I believe that Turbo is a must-have in my portfolio. Even though nothing I say is financial advice, here's the thing. Not only is 50 cents still my price target for Turbo during this bull run, but I think something like this needs to have a foundational piece in my portfolio because, yes, there are, places out there in my portfolio for like an amazing project, right? In terms of its fundamentals, like the Internet Computer, like, Casper, Jasmy, Quant, right? But then if I actually take a look at something else that I need to have is meme coins. And what better meme coin, in my opinion, other than Turbo? Because Turbo is very unique because, yeah, sure, I'm bullish on several meme coins, but this one is so interesting. This one has a very strong community. The exposure is fantastic. I think this could very well be the next big meme coin. Now, is it small by any means? No, but I still think it has a ways to go. And I think it could very well be one of those established meme coin players, so to speak, in the future. Because as of right now, when people think about established meme coins, they think about like a Pepe, like Dogecoin. You think about Shiba Inu, right? But I think Turbo could very well be the next one because not only is the community A+, Turbo could be doing bad. It could be doing great. It could be doing like okay. The community is still very passionate. They still do really like this. And not to mention as well, some people as of right now, they're panicking about like, the 10% pullback or whatever. But who could care about that, to be honest? At least I don't, because, if you actually take a look at my video, and this is a verifiable fact, by the way, when I made a video on Turbo, like in early September, that was doing caca. Everyone was like, oh, wow, it's going down. Yeah, sure. When it reached an all-time high, had a pullback pump. But then it was kind of heading downwards if you really think about it, right? And again, in early September, everyone was like, uh-oh, okay, now it's time to go lower. Now it's time to go down into the abyss. But you know what? Got listed on Binance and then just went all the way amazing, right? And again, there is going to be pullbacks along the way, but that doesn't really concern me because if I've been through like that September type of nonsense, what we're seeing right now seems like peanuts. And I think that, this is just a small taste of what's to come in the future because I do believe that 2025 is going to be the time to shine. If you think about it, a lot of altcoins as of right now, they're having a good recovery, but we really haven't seen that 2021 type of euphoric moment yet when even the bad projects feel like they're pumping. You know what I mean? That hasn't been the case yet. So I think that still, 2025 could really be the time to shine for something like Turbo and also a bunch of other altcoins. But what I really like about Turbo is the fact that this is a meme coin that, yeah, sure, isn't going to have a good use case. Let's face it, the use case is pretty much caca. But what I like about it is that it understands that, it's a meme coin, so it's not supposed to have a good use case. But then at the same time, they took a very interesting approach by being a meme coin created by AI. Now, it's more so like a marketing gimmick, in my opinion. Like, of course, Turbo isn't some sort of like, AOS where it's like really focused on AI or like, an ASI, right? Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. It's not something like that. No, this isn't the case. What I like about something like Turbo, again, is that it understands its place and it understands that if we're trying to attack the angle of having a good use case, it's simply not going to work because people don't usually care about the use case for a meme coin. Like no one's looking at a meme coin and taking a look at the use case. That's just my opinion. So what is a way to, approach this space? It's by being unique. It's by being a meme coin created by AI, which gives it, bonus points, I think, because it really does give it a differentiating factor. The way I take a look at it is that it's basically like a Book of Meme or like a Pepe, but cooler, right? Book of Meme, Pepe, Frog D meme coins, but this one's just a little bit more interesting. This one's a little bit more dynamic in my opinion. And we see like, for instance, something like Pepe, the community is massive. I'll give it that, but they're not very passionate, in my opinion, at least, because they're not very vocal. When it comes to Turbo, they're very vocal. They do really like Turbo. And I think that if anything showcases how, it's not going to be a project that's going to disappear anytime soon, because when I see something this amazing in terms of the community, I think it's going to be around for a very long time. Not to mention, I think even after this cycle is over, I still think that, it's going to have, it's time for multiple cycles to come, because I do believe that it could very well be one of the big players moving forward. And here's the thing. Reaching the price of 50 cents really isn't all that insane anyways, because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $33 billion. And that is around a 42x from here. So again, it's not the best upside out there, but you know what? it's pretty decent nonetheless. And when I consider just how much, Turbo has pumped already, it doesn't seem so bad. And keep in mind, if we saw something like Dogecoin reach over $80 billion in market cap, like around a $33 billion market cap, in my opinion, really isn't that bad. Dogecoin reached this at a time, right, back in 2021, where there was far less crypto owners. Even during the peak of that bull run, there was roughly only around 300 million. Now, according to Crypto.com research, there was over 600 million. Also, at that time, people didn't really know much about meme coins. And also, the sentiment, I think, isn't looking as bullish as it is right now, because if you take a look at the whole space overall, the amount of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption, the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, it's just looking through the roof. So if you actually take a look at it, as of right now, things are looking a lot more positive. Now, granted, have we seen the peak of the bull run yet this time around? No, which is why I think better days are ahead. And I think 2021, yeah, sure, it was amazing, but I think this one could be absolutely fantastic. But it's just a waiting game, which is why, again, I'm staying patient when it comes to Turbo. And I do believe that it should always be one of my foundational pieces in my portfolio, because instead of going all in on some random microcap meme coin, which granted could do very amazing, we just don't know, right? But then my problem with something like that is that the risk feels a little bit too high. When it comes to Turbo, the risk doesn't really feel like a meme coin because the community is so passionate. And also, you take a look at the amount of holders is holding very strong. But then at the same time, it is a meme coin. So then it's kind of like a best, of both worlds type of scenario. Again, the risk doesn't feel like a meme coin, or should I say a microcap meme coin, where it feels very dangerous. But then at the same time, it is a meme coin. So that's kind of crazy to think about. So this right here, I think, is very special. I think it's very interesting. And again, when you have over 600 million crypto owners, I highly doubt that this bull run is going to be bad. As Bitcoin reaches like 150,000, 200,000, and maybe even beyond, which all signs are showcasing that it could very well do that, could you imagine what happens to something like Turbo then? I mean, it could be so fantastic. But of course, it's just a waiting game. I've been waiting this long anyways, so waiting, sometime in 2025, it doesn't really seem too bad. But I'm just going to have to stay patient, continue to accumulate more and more Turbo. And some people, they like to ask me, right, okay, if Turbo goes to the price of 25 cents, will you still be accumulating? The answer is absolutely, because even though at 25 cents, like the hypothetical upside maybe only be like a 2x at that point, considering, let's say 50 cents is its peak, if that were to be the case, right? Even a 2x, I don't think is that terrible, because what is that cash going to do anyways? Sit in my bank account? What is that going to do? Getting eaten alive by inflation? I'm not going to do that. So even if, let's say, the hypothetical upside is like a 2x or like a 40% or even like a 50%, 30%, whatever, I'm still going to be not concerned by that, because again, instead of it being my bank account where it does nothing and inflation's eating it up, I'd much rather look for that hypothetical upside. But even besides that point, 50 cents for Turbo is still my price target during this bull run, and it's a must-have for my portfolio. At least that's the way I view it. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.